What's la 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 la? I hope you guys are enjoying this conversation as much as I'm doing, as much as I am. So let me say this. I always say you never really know people until you take time out to know people.
Nice.
I came with my thoughts that have been thrown out from the top floor of your digs. And I'm loving the conversation. Where did we stop, by the way?
So we stopped at additional lighting.
Asante sana for bookmarking.
Thank you.
Tuendelee.
So safari inaendelea. Sasa si mmepewa venue. Sasa ndio mnajua nani wanaoshanga venue. Those girls, my women, my inner circle until today are those girls who worked with us in St. Mary's to make our first gig. Those are my babes till now. Babes I met in Saints, babes I met in USIU. People who are just like, yo, your dream, we love it. Now we have to wash the hall and the toilet. Okay, and add lighting and think about how parking and ticketing, you know, because we knew there's ticketing, but how is ticketing? So
Please note, this is your first gig.
my first gig.
Yeah.
But I must say, my community pulled up. Like my homies, those guys who've been like holding me up from when I said I want to be a musician till now. That's Ride and Die gang.
Yeah.
Gang. A lot of them have gone into like creative arts, leadership. That's my gang until now. Those are my babes. They came with their small sisters became gang. So now there's that part, right? And just understanding the amount of work it takes to make that thing happen. On this other side, you're trying to finish the music. Sijui which band member is not coming. Sijui you're transnighting for 2 nights at Akina Jerry's house because now this is the first time the whole band is finally mixing the music. Because remember, we don't always have equipment.
Yeah.
Like the difficulties.
Yep.
There's that, and we still don't have sound.
You're not sure.
So
Wouldn't say
I'm like,
Amanda
yo, Big
silence.
Ted, what's going to happen is we're having this meeting and you're going to tell me what's up. And I can only say that was spirit that intervened for us. Ted I think he picked us from rehearsal or something when Jerry even went home. I was now just left me and Big Ted in his car in my mother's parking lot. I think I wore him down. Like I just would not stop. I just kept giving counter argument after counter argument. I was just like, this thing is good. This thing is dope. You've seen how hard we've worked. You've seen how everybody has pulled in. This thing, I'm not wrong. Your version is not wrong, but my version is not wrong. And now me, I just have to trust my version because I'm the one who would be left here with my usanii. After this situation, you can still walk away. Me, I still have to be an artist. Manze Big Ted was just like, God, what kind of mission is this you've given me? Big Ted gave us sound. We're like,
Free.
Big Ted did not even charge us transport. Me and Big Ted, we can disagree on so many things in life right now, in artist groups. Tunaweza tupana macheche. Listen, every time I think of Big Ted, I first think about the door he opened for us. For real. So now that he gave us the sound, he's like, nah, it's sound check. He's like, Ebu sing. He'd never even come for a rehearsal.
What? This was just him
That's why I'm like, that was spirit. And even him, I really would like to hear actually why he gave us the equipment. Because he just looked at me, he's like, Sawa. Okay. Tomorrow you guys, where will you be? Saints, higher. He came, he found we finished now washing. So I'm literally talking about like Wednesday there and the gig, the first show is on Friday. So he tells us, Ebu sing. So me and Jerry sing. Then it's like, sing, Ebu sing in harmony. We were not so great at harmonies at that time. So I bet even him is like, what exactly am I doing here, God? Oh well, Big Ted gave us the equipment. Ting! We'd made our tickets. We were like, yo, we need to
Let
be
me
memorable.
just ask something. So, Yani, me, I'm an interjector, but just because you're dropping nuggets, there's something that you said that I wish people get. You are not wrong, but doesn't mean that he was wrong.
No.
Even he was not wrong.
He was not wrong. There are just multiple realities. Life really depends on what you know going in. It really just depends on what you know going in.
In the converse, two people can both be right, even though you're going your
Absolutely.
both directions.
It can look extremely opposite, and both of those ideas are right. It is true what he was proposing, and it was true what I was proposing. So the only thing there was just like, me, which one can I live with myself? And for him to respect that decision and be like, okay, you babes that I've never even heard you singing. Anyway, we got our equipment and now our tickets. Now remember I told you we went for a photo shoot, our Charlie's Angel photo shoot, and our what are those things called? Those capris, those two things that reach here, pedal pushers. Tulikuwa tunakaa poa. Aya, sasa that photograph we printed business cards, so it had our name and our email address, how you could find us. So we're like, that's going to be our ticket. And then at the top, we'll clip on the side. There'll be like a small dot where we clip. But the point was so that you can keep the ticket. Yes, so you can show guys. Unaona? Tulikuwa tunaenda shule. They can have our contact. Na sasa picha yetu hapo kama Charlie's Angel. Tight. Now Njeri's boyfriend. Njeri's boyfriend is very entrepreneurial. Mwirigi is like the best guy for this kind of stuff. Mwirigi is like, girl, got you, babe. Unapenda kuimba? Okay, let's think biz nini. Let's even register an entity. All that stuff happened after the concert. Like, he was so enthralled with the idea of like business. He didn't think about it as like, oh, my baby's trying to sing. He's like, damn, and my babe can really sing. And now together, these guys can really sing. So
they're tight.
They're tight. Let's make this thing happen. Anyway, now siku ya show, we're like, guy, I hope anybody comes. We had 3 nights. We had asked for 3 nights.
That again, you guys and you're thinking, you were not doing just a one-off
gig.
It was Friday,
Saturday, Sunday. Sunday, in fact, was 2 shows. I want you to remember, we had done the St. Mary's play. So we had seen all the musical. You ran a number of days, and the reason you do that is because people are not all available at the same time. Also, when you put a lot of production value into something, you really do want to give the thing a run. Because if I came the first day and I'm like, this thing is lit, I'll come back with my pal and 2 pals, because I'm like, you guys have to discover this thing. So we had already seen that, and we knew that because we worked in the production of the musical as IBs. So we knew to do a show, if it's a production, which is how we were thinking about it. It's like a concert production. So do many days. So watu wa Friday night, watu wa Saturday, watu wa Sunday marambini. The matinee, guys of Sunday afternoon, and guys of Sunday evening.
Okay, I want to hear how this show goes.
Bomb as F, bro!
Oh, I thought you said it bombed. I was like, what?
Listen, did I not tell you Mkamze Mwatela was our choreographer? We had Kenwara on the keys, we had Devi on the guitar. Who played the bass? I need to remember the other members. Akina Don Gatia, Karlin. Bro, we had 4 BGVs. Fam, okay. Fam. Also remember, I think at that point, either Lauren, MTV had already done unplugged versions. Yeah, yes. You didn't sing concert, Nini, ideas, Nini. There can be a song where you just sing like with the guitar, Nini. We had 9 original songs and 8 songs. Our track list was 17 songs. 8 songs were like other people. So we had some Bob Marley. We had some Hugh Masekela. We had some things, and then we had our own songs. So tunaimba numbers. Tulikuwa na madansa waine manze, choreography, costumes. What you talking about? What you talking about? Us were like dope. The main thing we knew is that we have homies, and also Mwirigi, as I told you, Mwirigi is like in med school, maybe like sectadia, maybe or something like this. So Mwirigi is like Mbogia. Mwirigi ta pull up. Aya, so he used to play rugby, so at least we know the rugby squad is gonna pull up. The med school guys are gonna pull up. Our homies from Saints. We knew at least the first night we'll have 50 friends.
Yeah.
We sold out. Our sellout point was like 120 or something. Anyway, the point is every show sold out.
Throughout the whole time? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, do 2 shows. Whoa. Even Kev must have been like, okay. I mean, Ted.
That is when Ted became a believer.
It's like, okay.
These kids are onto something. Bro, we even had like concession stand where we were selling like 2 burgers to add like go up.
I was telling you this offline and I have to say it again. You were literally doing your first blankets and wine.
Yep.
I mean, from cleaning the toilets and thinking about where guys are going to go and do the
chairs, wiping them, picking the trash after the concert.
To light, sound, whatever, all those
how
things.
How are guys going home.
To marketing.
Bro,
Yo.
It is also during that show, one of those days we were in Jerry's house rehearsing, and I was on the kitchen counter, and I remember telling her, I would like to do this for my life. That is when I decided I'm now a musician. Like, I choose it, I've accepted. So now it's cool. I have no problem. I'll finish SIU, but now I know. This is it. That whole thing, I didn't know any of those things. I didn't know how to connect all those dots. And then like watching the dots connecting and the effort and then like miracles.
How did you feel being on stage performing?
Amazing. Bro, we had lighting, bro. What do you mean? Ask us just and our songs were dope, and you know our Mbogi had some of the songs, so they're over there vibing. So like now if you don't know the songs, you feel like, hey, how come I don't know?
Yeah.
Then guys clap. Guys, that's so dope. My USIU homies came through.
I was having this conversation with you before, and just because I want you to just chime in on this. I was saying a lot of people now are doing live performances, but they're not doing live shows. Yeah. There's a difference between just singing to a live band and there's the full experience of what you're talking about, dances, BGVs, different sets, your whole experience. You guys, it was an experience of a show.
Yeah. But first I fully agree with you. The thing there that I would like to bring is compassion. As I said to you, I have compassion with 99% of people, and with my peers I have an 110 compassion. Until I went much later in my career to Switzerland and had these facilities. So my rehearsal is in a venue where I have lighting. There are lighting engineers. We have a rock star of a lighting engineer. The first time I knew what truly lighting is meant to do. When I saw myself the way, when you film the thing, when you're in rehearsal, right? Because you're doing technical runs and it's every minute is precision, and then you run out and then the dancers come in and then whatever. This is how you create silhouettes, and then you see it on the phone. You are just recording the rehearsal to see what it looks like. And you have that feeling of like, this is that, and I don't say this lightly, this is that like Beyonce thing. Where like the lighting is a big part of the story and everything is precisely timed and choreographed to occupy all your senses. Until I had that in 2016, I did not know that thing existed. Because I know that thing exists, when artists asked me in 2018 if I could like mentor, like how can we get your stage performance to be like this, and I was like, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a music incubator where we will facilitate for you to have these same things. If you give any artist those things and that artist is motivated, they will have that experience. So they will long to put themselves up as a concept. They will want to bring their idea to the table. So many of my peers do not have access. Yeah, I have money. A lot of my peers are quite successful in their careers now. You can pay for stuff, sure. But actually, where are you going to compose it? So you don't own the gear, so you have to find a Mo Sound or whoever to give you the gear, to give you a venue. So maybe you have to find a person with a club to give you a venue so that you can put it. 98% of Nairobi clubs, let me speak about Nairobi, I don't know about the rest of Kenya, are like in business environments, so you can't play music until after 5, so that means they have a limitation. Those facilities do not exist to facilitate sanaa. Kenya does not facilitate sanaa. That is why artists do not continue in craftsmanship. They don't develop it. They desire it. There is no artist who doesn't look at some dope stuff and be like, man, I want that. In fact, half of artistry is motivated by, I want like that. Just how children learn. I want to walk. That's why children, when they see you walking, like that, all artists are like that. I want like that. That's what attracts us. We don't have the environment to do that. And then if you have never had those things, if you've never been facilitated, so me, I've had that experience. Because I've had that as an experience, that has now become my minimum operational threshold.
I get.
Correct?
Man.
I also know now what to do. I now know what it means to have a light engineer. I know that.
And you know the importance of it.
I know when you should use a screen and how the graphics, I know how to create effects moments in a show. Somebody facilitated that thing. So a lot of my peers don't have that thing. And even if they have the desire for the thing, there isn't a competence. That's why we began Perform Music Incubator, because me, I'm wanting to build out an industry of professionals. You have to have rock star like engineers here. Abroad, all of them have like gap year or whatever. They all have like garage bands, like 90% of like white kids all go through a garage band phase. I just picked numbers from my ass. Please don't commit to them. Right?
Yep.
So it's not weird that you're a sound engineer. There's so many. They have a touring music culture. They have a music consumption culture. You're making films, so like you know how to score, how to make music for that, effects, how you can bring effects to the stage. I had all of that. I've had all of that in these years that I've been doing my career in Switzerland. So it's one-upped my everything, my showmanshipness, my artistry, my ambitions. So a lot of people here have the same ambition. They don't have access to the thing, and because they've never had the experience of the thing, they don't then have the drive to solve this thing. So si munalipa tukuje tufanye show, unatoa ngapi? Mimi nashikilia pesa yangu, napigia mafans mziki. You are right, si must ni do live show, but pia nikifanya sio mbaya, fan atafurahia. And since this is all I have anyway, and it is good, it's just it could be better. I hear the frustration, which is you're not knocking the thing.
Yes, I'm not knocking it.
You just desire a much elevated level of the thing.
In
so
fact,
now
I'm even just trying to bring an awareness that there's more to a live event.
A lot of people know that.
Than just.
I also think sio kila mtu anafaa kuwa na dancers. Kuna Beyonce na kuna Adele. Adele anaendanga na microphone anaimba. Right?
And live band doesn't mean that you have.
With your body. What's his name? Ed Sheeran.
Yes.
Ed Sheeran is him. Ed Sheeran doesn't even play with the band, nigga.
Exactly.
Ed Sheeran plays him and his looks.
Yeah.
Right? And a lighting designer and a screen designer. Do you get that? So every artist has the thing that is theirs. Ile yako. So mi upenda drums. So I'm not the greatest. I really am going to be very good by the end of this year. But currently, I'm like reworking the craftsmanship. I finally have a pause to be like, hey, manze.
I had something.
Rudi kwa drums vizuri. You've had it, but now wacha mchezo. Na uongeze guitar, na uongeze keyboard, na uongeze bass. Mziki inoge. Because I know what it means, mziki ikinoga. I see where we are going next. Right? You're not going to be able to direct a score like Lion King if you don't know mziki intricately. You cannot. You will not. It cannot happen. So I know that, and because I've been in around environments where I've seen that happen, it's possible for me to imagine that, to desire that. A lot of artists in Kenya haven't even been in that environment that allows you to desire the thing and to see that it is possible. Okay? So because me, I've been on tour, I had the audacity to put a tour on here. Right? Because I know what it means to do it. So it's very important that when you knock it, you also recognize the root of it, because then you can solve it. And so maybe what we should be doing as fans, the thing now we should be saying to our artist, I am not interested in seeing you performing to a band. I am interested in you bringing me a concept of yourself. Ninataka kuona wewe ni nani, sanaa yako iko wapi. Hiyo ndio kitu sasa entertaining, hiyo ndio kitu interesting. Because sahi pia niko na mashida zangu na content ni mingi pia, unaona, katika hiki kipindi cha corona. So kama nakupatia, if I'm rewarding you with my attention, it is because you are giving me, yani unanipatia, nikimaliza hiyo experience yako, I'm like,
that was worth my time.
Okay? Hiyo ndio kitu sasa tunafaa kusema kama artist, kama fan. I am first a fan before I am an artist. I loved music before I made it. I was inspired by musicians to make music. Unaona? So I'm always a fan. And I'm a fan of a lot of my peers. So I'm thinking first as a fan. Now me, I want to see that thing, aka something. Unaona Sauti Sol, nimesikia album yenu mpaka guy, ata kwa Spotify.
Let me even just say this for the record, when we were setting up, background bumping was Nyashinsky's new album.
Correct.
Sauti Sol's new album.
Correct.
And you're huku singing word for word.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Nyashinsky, you're my witness. You don't have a better fan than me. Listen, now what we can say to them is, now me I can say to Sauti Sol, I can't wait to commune with you, to share in this midnight train. Okay, so me, I don't care for you to go and be in a place to sing with your band. I want us to commune. Venye hii album imenitouch, venye iliwatouch kuitengeneza. So what I want to have is a live experience. I want to feel something, and that's when art really does its work. If music is supposed to inspire, tell me why we ain't getting higher, Miss Hill. So if you're watching all those things and you're not feeling inspired, that means they are not inspiring. And us as artists, we can take the feedback and say, this thing should be so much more.
You know, I'm here, I'm telling you, Muthoni, I can't believe like how much wisdom we can have another 50-hour conversation about this. But the thing I'm loving about you is that your journey is beginning to make me understand your mindset. And at the same time, your journey, we can say whatever we want and give all the kind of excuses. But when I hear where you've come from, I want us to continue the journey.
Correct.
So that I can hear how did she end up in Switzerland.
Correct.
Because now I know it's possible.
Absolutely.
Because
and to be an award-winning artist na Kenya watu hawakutambui. Unapita tu kuinja wananiambia, mbona uliacha mziki? Mbona siku hizi utengenezangi video? Manze Muthoni ni underrated. I'm like, Buddha. Anyway, tutafika hiyo point. Usinikasirishe mapema. Jani inaweza kuwa kama ya Tanotera. Bra.
So you throw down this.
Okay, so we throw down the concert. Tukishamaliza marupurupu nini?
Let's call it what it is. It is a sold out concert.
Sold out. Okay.
Yes.
After we finish this production, acha tukifanya production meeting, sasa tumelipa madeni, ile tissue tulinunua huko nini, candles, what have you. Me and Jerry walked away with 36,000 Kenyan shillings.
You made a profit.
36,000. Okay?
2004.
Are we together?
2004.
Are we together? Band haijulikani by nobody, about nothing, with nothing. And that has been a guiding principle for my life. That was, I tell you, you said it correctly. Everything I learned about anything up to a certain point of blankets, all of it came from that first gig. If your community rides for you, you need nobody else. Nobody else. You guys, we had no song on the radio. Nobody knew us. Our friends and our friends' friends.
What? It's a lesson and a half.
So even you've just been taken a bestie yetu, tunaenda Saints, kuna concert ya kina nani. Mademu wengi, bestie yangu Muthoni. Bestie yako Muthoni, tunaenda. Na tunalipa so 3.
Tunalipa so 3.
Bestie yako na tumjui, hivyo. Community are the ones who cleaned the room. Community are the ones who helped us market that thing. Community are the ones who like pulled through. They're like, yo, Ami, I can dance for you.
Community connected you with suppliers.
Community connected us to suppliers. So I had learned that principle. And I was like, yeah, it's quite there's very many like boxes to check. But if you work with your community, you just check those boxes and then you'll do it. I already knew that. I already knew that the music on the stage is the very last thing. It's all these other things that are going to end you up at that point. And if you do that whole thing correctly, at the end of the day, you will have 12 baskets. You'll have 12 baskets and running over. Remember that parable? Or 5 loaves and 2 fish. It will always be like that. You always start with 5 loaves and 2 fish, and then you end up with 12 baskets running over. You don't start with enough food. You don't start with whatever amount of food is needed. Feed 5,000 people.
In fact, you start with
5 loaves and 2 fish. You can't even feed one guy. We had 3,000. What can you do with 3,000 as a gig budget?
36 G's.
Bruh.
Profit.
Nigga. Newest band in town, tight. Now we got money. Now Ted, talk to us. Tuingie studio sasa. Sasa tukambiana na Njeri. Sasa si pesa iko kwa mfuko. Tutembei Nairobi. Who are producers? Tukaandika list. Tukaandika. Tuende tu.
Give us an idea of who was there that time.
So you have